How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We got another Dokkan Battle video for you here today. We have a special little showcase for you. We're testing out Metal Cooler's team, playing around with some older units, some units that might be anticipating the Easy A. And we have the LR Prime Battle Wheelo on this team up against the God Goku from the Supreme Magnificent Battle Kai. So got really lucky here on the first turn. As you can see, no attacks in that slot. In that slot too, so we can actually safely build up the Wheelo here. So this is going to be kind of cool. Well, I mean, he doesn't really need build up, but we can lower God Goku's attack enough that hopefully we'll be able to tank some normals here. We'll see how it goes. I mean, I'm not expecting a whole lot. We get that dodge off going, nice, and hopefully there we go. All right, and we get an attack 9 million. I mean, that's not bad for a 2023 unit, free unit no less. Okay, and then up with that 32 million on our King Cold. Now our King Cold now is 79%. We actually did another multi to try to get cooler to 69%. We ended up pulling 2 copies of this guy in one multi, so we actually have a 79% King Cold now. So that's kind of cool. He's actually a really good banner unit. You wouldn't think so looking at his kit, but he actually ended up being pretty good. Excellent. Okay. Alrighty, now we got to play a little trick here, and I think it's going to involve keeping both coolers on for this rotation, because I don't want to shift too soon into switching him into slot 3 and proccing it when he shows up back again on slot 1. So I do think this is the way to go. Hopefully there we go. We get the dodge on the super. We get the dodge on the second one. Okay, so we are safe this turn, and between all of the attacks that are happening this turn, we should get enough of attack lower to be pretty much safe from everything for the rest of this fight. Goku tends to super in slot 3 or slot 1 mostly, so I think as long as we keep Wheelo in slot 2, we should be fairly safe here. Alrighty. There we go. All right, so we're getting a little bit of some attack in. We did get the double STR buff with both of our coolers here. Excellent. So now we just need to get all of those attacks in. Hopefully we get some decent attack placement when we circle back around to this rotation, because obviously on the next rotation we're definitely going to have to shift one of the metal coolers off. So there we go. All right, let's get those dodges. Or actually, it actually doesn't matter. We know we'll tank here, so just get him built up. That's the most important thing. Now we did bring Omega for that domain just to help push us through the final phase, because Goku has that extra damage reduction, which we do want to be careful of. Excellent. Okay, we've actually did some decent damage here. Okay, so there are attacks here. Now, I don't know if we should float off Golden Frieza or Wheelo. I think Wheelo's probably the better choice to float off. Maybe. I don't know. This is tough. This is real tough. Yeah, Frieza might be the better choice to keep on. Just less likelihood that things can go awry. There we go. We get those blue orbs for Wheelo. So pray to God we can survive the normals in slot 3. Otherwise we die here. We do get the super in slot 1. Double super in slot 1, and Goma dodges both of them. That is excellent for us. That's really good. So we should be pretty safe here. There we go. And then one of our coolers on the next rotation will hopefully finish things off. There we go. Okay, so not going to be a whole lot of damage happening on this turn, but that's okay. We kind of anticipate that. What we are going to look forward, though, is next turn. As long as next turn we kill, I think it'll be good. There we go. All right, taking those hits. All right, 7 million on the Wheelo here. Excellent. And he does tank the normals. There you go. Prime Battle Wheelo, tanking normals from God Goku, an event 3 years later. Impressive. Okay, all right. I mean, not the worst attack placements, but it'll do. Let's go ahead and let's take our attack buffs here for both of the coolers. Although the heals would be nice, I think it is better that we get the attack buffs and we ensure that death happens this turn. Because I think that's going to put... So the thing we have to remember with God Goku is he has those 3 turns of damage reduction in the next phase. And if we don't take him down... we don't want to delay that. We kind of... For this team, the longer we press in that phase, the more likely it is we could eat a crit and lose, especially with Wheelo. So we're actually going to try to push through and kill him within those damage reduction turns. Hence the domain, and hence why we're taking the early attack buff. There we go. Okay, missing crits I don't like, though. There we go. 53 million. So he's fully built up now. The other one is not, though, but we'll likely be able to get him fully built up after. Okay, so Cold is going to go. Yeah, he's not going to get fully built up. So Cold is going to have to kill here, and then Cooler is going to have to get built up when he circles back around after his giant form. 42 million. Nice. I do love how strong he is with the extra dupes in. All right, those dupes make a big difference for him. All right, excellent. So that's done. Now let's move into the final phase here. So I think if we're going to do this right, I think this turn... that's tough. Yeah. Okay. So I think we pop the domain. I think that's the first thing we got to do. Right? We pop the domain. And then do we do the giant form first? That's a tough one. Do we do giant form this turn, or do we hold it and just do Frieza's target? I think it might be better to do Frieza's target because we might not get another chance to do his big damage. So we may as well take advantage here, I guess. I feel like that's the play. Here. So, all right, let's grab that. Let's pop the domain. There we go. And then let's do perfect. All right. So I think this will work. And then we'll giant form next turn after the Metal Cooler Army strike. Here we go. Perfect. This will do. All right. So, super here. Now, if I remember correctly, Frieza takes 300k here. Yep. Okay, yeah, about 300k. A little less if he's linked with a better partner or Goma's supers first. But, I mean, this will do. All right, 200k on the second one. Okay, not bad. So we live. That's kind of all that we needed, is just to live the supers. So obviously Goma's not going to do a whole lot here because he's not getting attacked first. But he does get the 12 key, which gives the extra defense boost, and that'll help our next rotation as well. There we go. Perfect. All right. Yeah, so not actually a fan of the attack placement this turn for Frieza. I've gotten much better attack placements before where we can take much more hits, but there doesn't seem to be that many hits this round. It is what it is, though, you know. And we still managed to hit out 125 million, though. So, you know, there's that. That's still good. But, of course, we don't crit. And with that damage reduction up, not getting crits is actually a big deal. Excellent. Okay, perfect. All right, and then now we get the Metal Cooler Army strike. This is going to be a little bit tough. Yeah, this is going to be a little bit tough. Okay, so I don't want to torment you guys with 4 turns of this, so stand by. Alrighty, so we actually only got 2 turns of the giant form here. And, oh, look look at that. We had a really good attack placement here. Look at that. Wheelo doesn't have to take any damage. So let's take the STR bonus here. Let's pop Wheelo's active. How much is that going to do? Oof. Okay, it's a 3-year-old Prime Battle unit. So let's have a little fun here, right? Because no matter what happens here, the item is not going to affect the outcome of this. I just want to see how much damage we can get Wheelo to do. So let's do that. All right, perfect. And then we'll grab that with cold. So not a full orb change, but enough. I just want to see if we can get Wheelo to do a bunch of damage. And since the AGL orbs are only affecting him, it's literally just to see if we can do some damage with him. Affects nothing at all in terms of our overall accomplishment here. Of course, you know, had the attack placement not been open here, we would have died, but it worked out for us. And that is kind of the nice thing about the Goku fight, is you can play around sometimes the fact that he leaves slots open. Okay, but us not critting, a really big deal. And I still haven't figured out if Giant Form counts as a turn towards Goku's damage reduction. It feels like it does, having now come out of the 2 turns. We're now dealing a lot more damage, it seems. But I could be wrong here. But it feels like that damage reduction is gone now. It looks like we're actually dealing damage now. And yeah, so we did a decent chunk of damage here. 12 million. Not. And, of course, he dodges. What a bum. All right. Well, I mean, not bad. Not. I don't know what I was expecting from a 3-year-old free-to-play unit, but, you know, it's bad. It's not terrible. Maybe we can actually do this. Maybe we will actually win this. There we go. All right, not bad. And now Cold should be able to tank here. He does. Excellent. Alrighty, and then now our second Cooler Army strike. So we actually got 2 turns again. This game hates us. We have not. We missed 2 turns of that. That's crazy. I can't believe that. All right, well, let's, you know, I think it does count, honestly, because I feel like we did a lot of damage there comparatively in the giant form this time than we did in the last one. And if it works anything like Goma, right, because Goma's build-up counts through giant form turns. Like, those count as turns of build-up for him. So I'm going to say maybe it does. If somebody knows in the comments down below for sure if giant form turns count against Goku's damage reduction turns, let me know. It feels like they do based on what we've done with the testing so far. All right, excellent. Okay, so we'll grab that. Yeah, so we got Goma's giant form, get another extra turn of boost out of him. There we go. Perfect. All right. Like, even this feels like it's doing... Well, okay, I lied. That didn't do nothing. Although that's probably mostly due to type disadvantage here. Although we did crit, so I don't know. I mean, it's not that strong. I don't understand why his giant form doesn't hit harder. I mean, the active skill within the giant form hits harder. But I guess the benefit is that it's just getting rid of the super. And it doesn't really matter how much damage you do. But at least the giant active does damage. Okay, excellent. So there we go. Out of giant form now. Now... The thing is, oh, wait, there's way too many attacks there. I do not like that. I don't like that one bit. Okay. If it was 1 or 2 attacks, I would risk putting Goma in slot 1, but because, yeah, all right, let's take the tech spheres for Cooler to give that buff. And we'll keep Goma here, and then we'll send, there we go, we'll send off Omega Shenron. Yeah, there's too many attacks there that, right, if Goma doesn't dodge, if he gets hit once more and then doesn't dodge, he's going to lose his damage reduction, and we're going to lose. So I think it's probably better to do this, even though it's less overall damage for the turn, as long as our... Okay, that can't happen. I was going to say, as long as our coolers are getting their crits in, we're fine. But, you know, I forgot Goku can dodge here, right? Because, I mean, look, we're still hitting 55 million there. There it is. One more. Give us the one more. There it is. Wait for it. And supernova, boom. All right, so there you have it, folks. There is LR Prime Battle Wheelo versus the God Goku Supreme Magnificent Battle. We did it, guys. I can't believe we did it. And again, we didn't even need the item. The item was really just to kind of see how much damage we can make Wheelo do. It wouldn't have affected anything that happened that turn, right? It wouldn't have helped us live or die there. It was just for damage. So we honestly didn't even need it. But it was cool to see nonetheless. So, guys, that's it for the video. If you liked the video, make sure you hit that like button. And subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And in the comments down below, let us know, what do you guys think of Cooler's team so far? I kind of like some of the units that are getting access to his support and the things that he's doing and the team protecting. It allows you to do a lot of crazy shenanigans like we had done there. We still have a Turles run and a full power Frieza run in our back pocket that we would love to test out and show you guys. But until then, let us know what you guys think in the comments down below. Otherwise, guys, as always, it's wheeling time. Thanks for watching, and aloha.